everybody. Thanks for showing up this afternoon. I know it's getting late in the day. You guys have probably been a lot of Cisco stuff. So this should be actually, though, a really fun event. I'm going to speak for as little as possible. Jason's going to come up and really take us through the security technology that we have today at Cisco, talk about a lot of the new innovations we brought to the market over the past 12 months. And, but speaking of the last 12 months, it's been a very eventful 12 months for everyone in the security business. So I started in this job in March. We were hit by WannaCry, then Equifax, then Netia, now there's Spectre and Meltdown. So, over and over I talk to customers, there's just constant concern around what's going on in the landscape. It's hard for a lot of reasons. I think, kind of first, we're these guys, the tireless defenders, but there are an increasing amount of attacks that we're seeing every single day. These attacks are well funded. They come from organized crime, from nation state, et cetera. And the issue is like, we need to be successful 100% of the time. They just need to get it right once, and we're in a lot of trouble. And this has been made even harder by what's going on in the broader security landscape. I mean, fundamentally, the nature of threat has changed. We see these multi-vector, multi-stage threats, really sophisticated. Like the security technology of 5 years ago that relied on signatures and a priori knowledge of what was coming simply doesn't work anymore. Every customer I talk to is trying to figure out, how do I get the right talent? How do I get them into the company? How do I retain them? How do I train them for the new things that are coming? So, it kind of seems unsurmountable, like it's a very, very tough environment that we're facing in the security world. So here at Cisco, we're really focused on is how do we change that equation? How do we kind of turn the tide in terms of everything we've been seeing over the past years that are happening in the security event? And hopefully when you walk away from here today, you'll think about Cisco as being, I think, the single best positioned company to help change that equation. Do you have an effective security posture? What do I mean by that? I mean, how do we reduce the time between when a threat gets into your environment to when you detect it and when you can remediate it? So look, we have at Cisco decided that security is an absolute fundamental thing that we need to deliver. If you're at the keynote today, it's number one on that pillar of the 5 things we're doing. And so we're attacking this through 3 core things. One is make sure we have a best-of-breed portfolio. We know that you're not going to go and use kind of a second-rate solution for a component of your critical security architecture. So we want to make sure that we have a best-of-breed portfolio. Over the past 5 years, we've spent $4 billion. We've doubled R&D in the security space in order to get to this. But that doesn't solve everything, because then you just have lots of different products. So the second thing we've done is tie that together with an integrated architecture. Jason and I will show you some examples of that integration, that architecture in effect. And then third is we continue to invest very, very heavily in threat intelligence. We think we have an unfair advantage in terms of the amount of data that we get to power this intelligence. Now, I'll talk about that more. We think that this kind of trifecta of best-of-breed portfolio, integrated architecture, and cloud-delivered intelligence, that's what's allowed us to take that time to detection down. That's what really helps differentiate what we're doing in the market. So when I think about that best-of-breed portfolio, we think of it in 3 core pillars. On the network side, firewall, UTM, IPS, identity services engine, stealth watch, and tetration. On the endpoint, AMP for endpoints, AnyConnect and email, and cloud, Umbrella, Cloud Lock, and Stealth Watch Cloud, kind of the fundamentals of our architecture. Let me double click on the cloud-based intelligence, because I think to me this is where we really stand out across Cisco. And the first thing to think about here is, in this world of ML and AI, and we do all that stuff, my proposition to you is it really all depends on the data. Like, we can kind of figure out the right ML techniques, but if you don't have great data, you're not going to get great results and information from that analytics. And this is kind of our Cisco unfair advantage, because we have all the data from the security platforms I talked about, but we're also pulling from the network, from the device. And so this is where security within the Cisco world really gives us this advantage. We know, kind of coming back to like what makes this hard, part of the problem is like we don't have enough people. There are not enough great security professionals out there. You're always struggling with how do I get those folks in the team. So while we've also been building out that portfolio and our threat intel, we've also been investing heavily on the services side. And both services through Cisco directly, as well as through our partners.